Hey guys, SH here, and this is the 13th episode of Battlefield 4 Weapon Guide. In this time, I'm going to be covering the CZ-805 Assault Rifle. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So, if you guys haven't noticed already, the last week was the Call of Duty Ghost free-to-play weekend on Steam, on PC, so I was able to play around with a couple of weapons, and there was one weapon that I did exceptionally well with, and it was called the CZ-805. So, I was using the CZ-805 as my primary weapon, and I was thinking, this gun looks familiar, sounds familiar, and I think I used this gun before. But one thing to keep in mind is that I never played Call of Duty Ghosts before. Yes, I had Black Ops 2, but I didn't buy Call of Duty Ghosts because it had such a bad review. So I was thinking, this gun, where did I use this gun from? And the funniest thing about was that I didn't even realize that this gun was at Battlefield 4 as an assault rifle class until the free-to-play weekend was over. And after that, I slapped my face with my hand and I said, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Call of Duty Ghosts, so let's jump right into the stats of CZ-805 in Battlefield 4. So the CZ-805 is going to deal a damage of 25 up close, and it's going to drop into 18 at a distance. So it's going to take between 4 to 6 shots to kill, but generally 5 shots to kill, because there's going to be a range that you're going to be engaging people mostly with. And if you can get a headshot with this weapon, it is generally going to take about 2 or 3 less shots to kill. So if you can get a headshot, be sure to get a headshot, because this has a 2 times multiplier in the head. So the drop-off starts at 8 meters and drop-off ends at 55 meters, and yes, that is very standard among the entire assault rifle class, with the exception of being the Scar H, which has a very high damage up close but has a very slow rate of fire. And then now let's talk about the fire rate. The fire rate of CZ-805 is pretty slow. So it's gonna fire at 700 rounds per minute, and yes, it is not the slowest firing assault rifle, but it is definitely the slower side. So I do not recommend you trying to engage guys in a close range with this weapon, because it is just not gonna compete against weapons such as the M416, FAMAS, or AEKs. So by looking at rate of fire, the only gun that you can outgun is gonna be a SAR-21 or AK-12. So just try not to use this gun in a close range and try to range yourself between you and the enemy, because this gun is not well suited in a close range. And then the muzzle velocity is average, which fires at 500 meters per second without suppressor and 320 meters per second with suppressor. And this time, I do not recommend you using a suppressor on CZ-805, because this is a medium range assault rifle. You don't want to engage guys between medium and a long range while using a suppressor, because it decreases your muzzle velocity by roughly a half, and that is not going to be fun at all, especially if you compare to a weapon such as an M416, which fires at 600 meters per second. Your bullet's going to arrive about half slower than M416, and you're pretty much going to get outgunned every single time. So just don't use a suppressor, because like I said, this gun's key strength is a medium range. And then the bullet drop is very standard among the entire fully automatic guns in Battlefield 4, which has 50 meters per second square, and the magazine size is very average, which has 30 rounds total with 1 in the chamber. Now the reload time of the CZ-805 is kind of on the slower side, which takes 2.35 seconds with 1 in the chamber and 2.9 seconds empty. So what I recommend you is not to engage guys in close range, because whenever you run out of magazine, you're pretty much guaranteed to die. So if there's an ears cover around you and you want to reload, just go there and reload, because it's going to take you quite a amount of time to reload. So please make sure you're in a safe position while reloading. The recoil of CZ-805 is mostly going to kick upward to the right. And the good thing of CZ-805 is that the recoil to the left is pretty much non-resistant. So what you need to do is to pull your mouse or pull your thumbstick to the left and to the downwards, and the recoil should cancel out extremely easily, and it should be a lot easier to manage than some of the other assault rifles in Battlefield 4. And if you want to put angle grip on this weapon, be sure to put it on, because this gun is going to be a precision assault rifle. Putting on angle grip should reduce the recoil further down by 1/3 to your first shot. And speaking of which, this gun has a first shot multiplier of 2.1. And if you compare the first shot multiplier of FAMAS to CZ-805, which FAMAS has a first shot multiplier of 2.5, there is a significant amount of difference, and that was one of the reasons why I love using this gun in the medium range, because first of all, it had a very manageable recoil, and also it had a very low first shot multiplier. Now for the aim down sight accuracy, there's nothing special to talk about, which has 0.2 while standing and 1 while moving. So if you guys don't know what I'm saying, just know that aiming down sight accuracy is very standard among the entire assault rifle class. And the hipfire is also very standard among the entire assault rifles, which has 3 standing, 2.5 while crouching, and 2 while proning. I personally do not recommend you putting a laser sight or a flashlight onto CZ-805 because that is not going to be an ideal choice between medium and a long range. So if you want to put it in, yes, you can put it in, but it is just not going to be a good choice to go. The spray increase per shot of CZ-805 is in the pretty low side, which only has 0.091 per shot. And if you compare to a weapon such as a FAMAS, sorry, I like comparing with FAMAS because it's such a high rate of fire, it has a 0.13 increase per shot. And if you go back to CZ-805, it only has 0.091. And that is one of the reasons why this gun is so good at between a medium and a long range. So overall, I had a lot of fun using the CZ-805, and one thing I forgot to remind you is that this is not the best gun in the assault rifle class. In fact, I think that this gun needs some kind of buff because if you compare it to such a weapon like a FAMAS or the SAR-21 or the M416, it is a pretty versatile choice to go if you want to engage between medium and a long range. But there's a gun that is a lot better than CZ-805, and I just feel like this gun needs a little bit of buff from DICE, maybe reduce some of the recoil a little bit. Because if you compare to weapons such as SAR-21, the SAR-21's recoil is pretty much non-existent, and this gun's recoil is, yes, it is manageable and it's pretty low, but I feel like this gun is really weak in general, so I just want to see some of this buff from the DICE, so yeah. But nonetheless, I still had a lot of fun using this weapon, especially the iron sight. I just love using with the iron sight with this weapon. In fact, I don't even think that the optical attachments are needed to do well with this weapon at all, because even using with the iron sight, I was doing so well with it. And maybe it's because I play around with this weapon Call of Duty Ghosts too much. And fun fact, if you compare it to the iron sight of SA-805 and then the CZ-805, maybe that's why it is so well with iron sights, I don't know. So next time, just try to use this gun with iron sight or maybe any 3.4 times sight, because there's gotta be a range that you're gonna be engaging people mostly with, but I don't know. So I think that's it for a weapon, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do, like, favorite, and subscribe. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace!